All ready to make your collage.
You know you're ready if you took some time to do some sketches. On this sheet, I've got lots of ideas for my collage. Hopefully you were here the day that we looked at some examples. If not, look around the room. I have some posted up on the wall. So this one shows a person, a flower, maybe an owl, a rocket ship, and someone playing soccer. I think for my final, I'm going to do a person dancing. Before I do, I should kind of think about what do I want, what else do I want in my collage. And I'm going to have my person maybe inside with just some colorful squares behind them. So I kind of have a plan of what else is going to be in my collage. I think I'll use some strips of paper under their feet and then some different colors back here. So each one of these, I should have a sense of what is going on in the picture. So when you're ready to start, there's lots of colors of fadeless paper. We're not drawing on the side that has the color. All of our sketching is going to be hidden on the back. When you begin, you want to draw the whole size of the paper. I'm using a half sheet so they'll fit on my video, but your paper will be even bigger than this. So if I'm drawing my person dancing, I'm going to look at my sketch here. I am going to make an oval head, and I can use a black eraser to plan it out first. The shoulders, the body, the hips, and then remember that a person is the same size from the head to the waist as the waist to the feet. So that means their feet need to go all the way down here. Then I'm going to go hip to knee, knee to ankle, and put a foot in, and they're having a great time at this party and dancing. Here we go. One hand is down, one hand is up. Great, so I've got it all planned out with my black eraser. If there's anything I don't like, this is a great time to adjust some lines. I don't need to wipe everything off. If I don't like this arm, I can just wipe off the arm and try it again. Maybe I'll have the hand go this way. Once I've got my black eraser lines drawn out, then I'm going to carefully take my pencil and draw my cutting line. I don't want my person to look like a bunch of bubbles, even though I used ovals to draw them. So my cutting line is going to be pretty smooth, and I'm thinking about how there's that curve in their foot, there's a curve in your calf muscles. Maybe this foot is on the ground, there's the heel. So I'm thinking about the body as I draw in my cutting line. Maybe I'll put a thumb. It's okay just to use a mitten for this assignment. It's tricky to cut out fingers. There it is. I'm ready to cut out my person. Check with Miss Silas before you start cutting. Ooh, I think I want to switch that line. The black eraser doesn't work very well to erase, so if you want to erase, it's better to use a pink eraser. Mine was over on the other side of the table. There we go. There, that looks a little better. Now I'm ready to cut. I'm looking here and I think I want my head to be just a little bit wider so I can tell that it's bigger than the neck. So then the next step is to cut out your person. There we go. Carefully, carefully, and save all those scraps because someone else is probably going to use them to make their clothes or some details. Maybe they're going to make a pizza and they'll need to cut out a mushroom and some pepperonis. We're not sure what other people are going to make, so we're going to save the nice big scraps. If it's as big as your hand, that's a good scrap to save. When I cut out this part inside this, that's probably too small to save. Unless someone at my table says, hey, yeah, I want to use that scrap. Some of these areas that are tricky to cut, I cut this way first, and then I'm going to come back and cut that way. Now I'll cut the roundedness of the thumbs. All right. And I just have to cut out the legs, and we'll get to think about how this might look on my final paper. There we go. I have lots of yellow paper, so if you think you could use yellow for your main subject, that would be fabulous because I've got plenty. Some of the colors I don't have as much of, like red and black. Those go very fast. Okay, so there's my person. Ta-da! And you can't see any of the pencil line because it was on the back. Then I choose a background color. I want something that's going to be very different from that yellow. This stands out really nicely on the navy blue. For any of my other things that I want in my drawing, I'm going to go to the scrap bin. Well, here's someone's orange scrap. Well, that could work really nice for the floor I was talking about. So I can just cut. If you remember looking at the Henry Matisse collages, some of them had just some unusual shapes in the background that keep your eye moving and make it a little more exciting. This is kind of plain, where it's just a plain blue background and a plain yellow person. But once I start getting more colors in there, it's going to be very exciting. There we go. So now I use 3 lines to make it look like one big floor. I want to make sure that anything that needs to go behind my person is glued on before I glue my person on. So it's kind of a tricky assignment because you need to keep all of your pieces together before you're ready to glue. If you glue too soon, you might have some problems. Here's a nice blue. Maybe that can be one of those squares in the back. Oh, it looks like this one has a rip. That doesn't look very good when I'm making a final collage, so I'm going to cut that so that every edge is a finished edge. Now I see that there's blue up here and orange down there. It might be nice to have a little orange up high too. That's how we keep our eyes moving in art, by having similar colors throughout the entire piece. So maybe I'll do something like this, and then I could think about ways to put the blue down here. What if I want a detail on something I already cut out? Should I go like this and trace it? Oh, but we don't write on the blue side, so that's not going to work. What if I went like this and I traced it? Well, when I turned it over, it would be backwards. If you want to put a detail on something, you need to have the white side of both of your pieces. So if I wanted to make a shirt for this person, I need to have this flipped over, and then I would make a shirt like that. This is another reason to not glue everything down right away, because I wouldn't be able to do that if I would have already glued them down. So now I can cut this shirt out, and when I flip it over, I'll have a perfectly fitting shirt for my person. If you're worried about it being just right, sometimes it's good to make it even a little bigger than what I made it. Then you don't have to worry about it being too small. Well, I'm excited to see your collages. Don't forget to make them colorful. Don't forget to make the big thing, the main subject, your biggest part of your collage. And then think of ways to add little bits of color to keep everyone's eyes moving and grooving across your collage. When you know it's all done, then it's time to glue. I'm just going to put a little blue in before I end my video. How does this look? Ooh, I like it. All right. Have fun making your collage.